Welcome to picturesque Monaco, the street circuit of the season. There you can see the track map. You can see how much it climbs going up Sandivot, first corner, and it's got a tunnel as well, which is unique to FF1M as well. Last season saw Jenson Button dominate the race. This season we're expecting most of the field to make 2 stops. However, around 30% of the field are attempting the 1 stop for this race. Be interesting to see who takes the 1-stop option and who takes the 2. In Q1, the change to the super soft tyres helped GRM top the timesheets ahead of Kobayashi and Alonso. FJR have also switched to the soft tyres in between these super softs and mediums. The mediums only just helped Gee Racing get through, just ahead of Shannon and Dark Wolf. The super soft tyres helped Autodynamics to get through to the qualifying session. A superb effort by Rubens Barrichello took second on the grid, but it wasn't enough to beat the even more superb Kimi Raikkonen. Kers helped the Tornado there, while GRM are not running the Kers this time. Hamilton takes third on the grid, championship leader. Felipe Massa on the soft tyres on 4th place, Alonso 5th, the other GRM of Bourdais in 6th place. A superb effort from Mark Webber as well, even on the super soft tyres. It'd be difficult for him to stay there though. Gee Racing have swapped Anthony Davidson for Lucas Di Grassi and qualifies ahead of Liuzzi. An impressive effort considering Lucas is on the mediums and Antonio is on the super softs. So we're getting ready for the start. The 5 lights are on. In a moment, 5 lights are out. Who gets the best launch? It's Barrichello that's got a good start, but Raikkonen holds on. Hamilton challenging for 2nd place at a cloudy Monaco. Are they all going to go through safely around the first corner? A bit of brake locking, but all fine. Raikkonen leads though from Barrichello. It's already forming a queue behind Hamilton. Hamilton on the far more superior tyres needs to get past quickly and challenge Raikkonen, who will pull away surely from the mediums. Already on the first sector he's 1.8 seconds ahead. Almost expecting Raikkonen to dominate, but the fragile reliability of the Kers will surely come into play. Hamilton flying up the inside into the chicane. Up the inside and into 2nd place, clean racing. Hamilton up to 2nd, now he can set off and provide a challenge to Raikkonen. Around the swimming pool. And then round the Rascas they go. Raikkonen only just making a corner. But rounding the final corner, the Nogs, and onto 2nd lap. Kimi Raikkonen leads for Tornado. Hamilton up to 2nd place from 3rd on the grid. Barrichello down a position, having been overtaken on the track. And in 4th place is Felipe Massa, looking to make a move on the Brazilian. His fellow Brazilian, actually. And that was running a bit wide there, was Raikkonen, so he's pushing very hard. And he had gained a 10th over Hamilton already. Round the Portier, on board with Massa. Scored his first points of the season in Jerez last time out, which was very well needed after his 4 retirements in the first 4 races. around, and the lowest hairpin goes Mark Webber. Gained a position at the start. He took Fernando. No, he's behind Alonso. Let's try to work that way. It was Bourdais that has dropped behind Webber. Both these cars on these super soft tyres. Behind is Kubica and Glock and Button, winner of the Imola race, suffered a retirement in Jerez. Look at this queue behind Webber. Someone is going to have to make a move sometime. It looks like it's going to be Glock on Robert Kubica into Sander Vogt. That's a brave one, and it's a great move from Timo Glock to move up into the points. That was epic. Clean looking to do the same on Buemi. Turn one they go. Oh, there's contact. Clean has punted Buemi into a spin, and he's took his own teammate out. Unbelievable. Joey Mitchell is not going to be happy, and more collisions. It's Trulli out of the race. Looked like an Andy Racing that piled into him. And Bourdais looking up the inside of Webber. Is there going to be contact? No. Both drivers knowing they're there. So good awareness from Webber. On the swimming pool they go. And Webber's pulled out a little bit of a gap now. Now it's Timo Glock on the attack. Of Bourdais. The inside, repeating what Hamilton did to Barrichello on lap 1. This is lap 8 of the race now. Raikkonen going around the lowest hairpin. He's 6.4 seconds ahead of Hamilton, who himself is a further 13 ahead of Barrichello. He's holding on quite well to Massa. It looks a bit more misty. I wonder if it's raining. It looks to be raining at the entry to the tunnel. Timo Glock challenging Mark Webber into the chicane, repeating the move that he did on Webber the previous lap. Good move from Timo Glock, and he's up to 6th. Now he's going to chase after Fernando Alonso, and you can expect that being on the medium tyres. On board with Buemi, and it is raining. You can see the tarmac getting a bit darker, but Buemi moving up a position at the expense of Liuzzi. So now, when Barrichello pits, that's an early stop. He's taking the wets. So he's expecting it to rain a bit more, and Massa's taking the wets as well. So this rain, and into the pits comes Glock as well. So this rain is coming down, and slightly cautious I have to say. The tarmac doesn't look too dark. I reckon you could brave it out. Oh, that is quite wet out there. Very, very tight pit lane. What rejoining just ahead of the AJ of Alonso. And the spray's coming out. This seems like it's a clever move from these guys. Mark Webber pits onto the wets. Webber having to wait. There's a dodgem coming in. Kubica pits. Also into pits is Button. It's all kicking off here, and we're only on lap 15. Now we're going to see a real challenge here. The circuit's slippery enough in the dry, but in the wet, it is absolutely treacherous. We saw a wet race here before involving... Remember FJR still had the mild 7 livery. Raikkonen pits, so he made it round. I remember both FJRs struggling massively when they had the mild 7 livery. I think it was 2003. And Hamilton just dodging Barrichello. That Barrichello is a Guy Racing. It's a lap down Lucas Di Grassi. Hamilton seemed closer now to Button. Or Raikkonen, sorry. Round the Mirror, Heifeld's not pitted. Look how gingerly Hamilton's having to go around the Mirror and the lowest hairpin. Virtually on the tick over on the engine, and off goes Clean, out of 13th place. Gearbox failure, so it wasn't a crash. Into the pits comes Button. He's got a loose wheel. It looks like it's stopped raining. You see a little bit of blue sky emerging. So it's pretty much just a shower. You can see the spray is diminishing. Button right behind Alonso. Glock pits. And smashing into the Pedersen goes Button. Out of the race goes a Tornado. It was Zaug that he piled into and both drivers out. So a total misjudgment, but that is the inherent danger of Monaco. And out the pits comes Raikkonen. On lap 41. He's trying to lap an AJ. Around the outside at Sandy Volts. That is not going to happen. And he's going to lose his front wing. Yes, he is. Raikkonen has handed the race to Hamilton on a plate. That will anger the Tornado team boss. Now Hamilton has got a massive lead. Lap 58. He is only 22 seconds ahead of Raikkonen, and we saw the gap was around 43 last time, so Raikkonen is charging. Hamilton looks to be struggling. He's not going very quickly at all. Has he got some sort of problem in that shake and bake? That is really slow. He's let the FGR through. Now he's back up to speed somehow. Although, I don't think he would flat out through the tunnel. He must have some sort of problem in that shake and bake. Because he's having to tread really carefully into the corners. Okay, it is wet, but that is way slower than Felipe Massa. We are on the fifth. It sounds like it's as if it's a clutch problem on the shake and bake. It's like it's not downshifting properly. But we'll see when he comes into the pits, if he does, which he is. Electrical problems. So he will lose the lead to Raikkonen. So Raikkonen's been very fortunate after his incident with Alonso. Remaining with the wets, it's still raining. Looks like the rain has come back. And crossing the line goes Raikkonen to take the lead with 20 laps to go. Meanwhile, Barrichello in a superb third place in the GRM. He held on in the early stages of the race and it has paid off for him. On the fresh wets, Hamilton will be quicker, but he's hit the Mitchell of Buemi and that's a wheel gone. Hamilton out of the race. His first retirement of the season. Believe it or not, he tried to get on the inside of Buemi. And out of the race goes Kubica. So even without the KERS, FGR still suffering from unreliability. It's a transmission failure. 14 laps to go as well. Raikkonen on his last lap. Seems like he's got a big lead over Timo Glock. He's approaching Alonso once again. He's in 5th place. So he has lapped a lot of the field. In fact, this is going to lap Alonso for the second time. So he's leading ahead of Timo Glock. Rubens Barrichello in 3rd place, ahead of his fellow Brazilian Felipe Massa. There is Alonso in 5th place, running ahead of Raikkonen on the track, but about to go 2 laps down. Sebastian Bourdais in 6th place, so taking KERS off has paid off massively for GRM. Sutil, another consistent race performance from him, up to 7th place in the Andy Racing. And Sebastian Buemi, despite his incidents with Trulli and Hamilton, is up in the points. So he has, his car must be made out of solid steel. Rounding the final corner comes Kimi Raikkonen. Well, about Raskas even. you can see how much of a lead he's built up over Glock. Glock has only just started his last lap. But across the line goes Kimi Raikkonen to take the win. Tornado's second of the season and his first. Very, very slow race pace, only 81.156 miles per hour. Reached past the 2 hour mark as well. So it's a tough, gruelling afternoon for FF1M, but it goes in favour of Kimi Raikkonen. Finishing nearly a lap ahead of Glock. Barrichello, points for GRM, and it's a podium as well. A superb race to hang on ahead of Massa. Alonso takes 5th ahead of Bourdais, Sutil and Buemi. The only other finisher, Vitantonio Liuzzi, in 9th place, 5 laps down on the race winner Raikkonen. His win moves him ahead of Button in the championship. Hamilton's lead reduced to 12 thanks to Glock's 2nd place. Jenson Button looking a little lonely in 4th, but it's still early days. Next round, it's the European Grand Prix coming to you from the Nürburgring. We'll see you then.